Very insightful, isn't it, into how she coped and maybe helping others.
She started it when she was first diagnosed with cancer in 2013 and wrote it real time all the way through into remission, and then when it came back as bone cancer. And one of the important things about publishing it as a book was I said, we can't edit this. This was written real time every day. We can't now come in knowing what happened in the story with any sense of irony. The grumpiest I ever got with my sis in my writing was the night before she died.
Oh, gosh.
Now, I could have come now and gone, we're going to make it a book, so I'm going to make myself a little bit nicer at this point, or a little bit more understanding. No, we never know what's going to happen in our lives. And we have to be true to the fact that some days are messy, some days are dirty, some days don't.
All, isn't it?
Yeah, because that's what life is, and we can't sanitize the experience of it.
Reading it, I found it a lot funnier. And I know it's a horrible subject, but there's various laugh out loud moments in the book. And was that what it was like that time, sharing with your sister as well on occasion?
You have to laugh because there's such absurdities in it all. Claire was a very funny person. She wrote very honestly. Honesty has humour with it. We laugh at people who slip on banana skins. We do. That's part of humour. And of course, death brings so many gags with it. And I remember this phone call after she died with her mortgage provider on the phone to some poor woman, and she said, "Are you her executioner?" And I said, "Sorry, do you mean her executor? You're not suggesting that I killed my sister?" And you've got to laugh. Bless them all.
Yeah.
And death brings good gags. It really does.
You also talk a little bit about, because there's all the things you have to look after afterwards, and then there's this lovely photo of you two, and then coming across photos and memories, and there's just a constant reminder, maybe in a good way.
Grief is fascinating because there's no prescriptive time for grieving. This is the problem we have in this country. There is no statutory leave for people who are suffering recent death. I think the government says 2 days. You should be able to get over it in 2 days. Now, you can't say, I'm going to cry for 2 days at the death of my father, mother, sister, wife, and then get over it. It comes upon you as a sort of vomit by the frozen peas counter in the supermarket.
Just when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, I was coming from a place yesterday and someone sent me a message saying the book was doing very well and showed me it was #1 on something, and I started to cry outside the Houses of Parliament. You never know when it's going to hit you.
You mentioned the 2 days, and yet people will have seen you on The Crown as well recently, and yet you were working, weren't you, quite soon after
I kicked off the second season of filming. All the scenes in the first day of filming were all me as Mountbatten, and that was 2 days after we buried my sister. And I had a little look to see, can you tell? Luckily, I hadn't told anyone because I didn't want to bring some form of grief into what was going to be a really happy day for people. The start of a 7-month shoot, everyone was excited. A lot of the crew had come back from the first season. It was lovely to see people. I think only the director and the assistant knew where I'd just come from, the cremation.
Can you tell by yourself watching it?
No. And actually, it's rather wonderful to have something completely other to pull yourself out of where you are. Dress up, pretend you're someone else.
Something completely different.
Always stick some ermine on when you're grieving. I think that helps.
Benefit of your job.
Have you got any advice to people in a similar situation?
Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's the old adage, isn't it? If the plane's going down, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Self-care is something that we don't do well enough anyway, but in a situation like this, when you're caring for someone really quite ill, you forget to look after yourself, and this thing, compassion fatigue, you do get, and I went quite bonkers, which is fair enough. It's a difficult time, but I think just be as honest and as open and as graceful and as kind as you can be. That's all.
And all that comes across in the book.
It does.
Yeah, and a lot more as well. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Claire and Greg's book is called Not That Kind of Love.